7 digits cast into a ledge at the back of the block. It is the first thing anybody checks. The casting number sits on a ledge at the rear of the block below the deck on the surface that meets the bell housing. On most Mark IV big blocks, it is on the driver's side and it never contains letters. Welcome back to Big Block Radio. That number answers exactly one question: which mold the iron came out of. Chevrolet ran the same casting across 2 displacements, across cars and trucks, and across 2 bolt and 4 bolt mains. A few ran across 2 decades. Casting 39-63512 is a 427 for 1969, then a 454 from 1970. So it will not give you the displacement, the vehicle, or even the bottom end. The Mark IV arrived for 1965, replacing the W Series 348 and 409. Its valves were canted in more than one plane, which is where the porcupine nickname came from. It started at 396 cubic inches. The 427 followed for 1966 on a larger bore. The 454 arrived for 1970 on that same bore, with the stroke stretched to 4 inches. Along the way, the 396 quietly stopped existing. It stayed on the badge. It left the block. From 1970, Chevrolet bored at 30 thousandths, which put it at 402 cubic inches. The badge kept saying 396 in the performance cars and 400 in other lines, 2 more tells. A passenger car block stands 9.8 inches at the deck, and the tall deck truck blocks stand 10.2. And from 1991, the rear main seal went to 1 piece, which is the fastest era tell on a bare block. So a casting number brackets an era. For a year, the published charts give a window. On one tall deck casting, 4 published charts give 3 different answers. One starts in 1968 and stops in 1976. Another runs to 1985. These are hobbyist compilations built from what people reported finding, so treat every published range as a rough window. The second mark is the day the iron was poured. Separate stamp, separate place. The casting date usually sits on the rear ledge on the passenger side. It reads like E127. A letter for the month, 2 digits for the day, and 1 digit for the year within the decade. So a 7 could be 1967, 1977, or 1987. Some blocks carry both digits, and a casting date has to fall before the engine was assembled. Or the third mark names the engine, and it is stamped rather than cast. It sits on a pad at the front of the block. On the deck below the alternator, a code reading T0422TR breaks down cleanly. T is the plant, Tonawanda here, with F and V used for Flint, then the month and the day. What remains is the suffix code, 1 to 3 letters for the engine, the transmission, and the vehicle line. That pad is the only surface that names the engine. It is also the most forged surface on the block. Suffix codes were reused across years, so you still need the casting date to know which decade you are standing in. The number gives you the era, the date gives you the year, the pad names the engine. See you next time.